This just might be the saddest thing I've ever done. Well, that just looks really plain now. But what is going on, my peeps? Welcome back to another Buzzfeed test. Happy November. I really do felt like October just kind of flew by quicker than any month so far this year. Some of you agreed, actually. But I really hope it slows down for December, because that's the best. That one's my favorite. Today, though, we're trying out something that you guys really wanted me to try ever since I got my blowtorch from this video, and it is the lemon meringue cupcakes. I have never made any type of dessert like this in my life, so sure it'll give you pastry chefs out there a good laugh. Let's get right into it. So unlike the raindrop cake where we only needed 3 ingredients, it was super simple, this is probably the polar opposite. I grabbed some sugar and salt, some baking powder and vanilla extract, a ton of flour, some milk, 2 sticks of butter, and a bunch of eggs fresh from my friend Lindsay's backyard. Thank you to her for letting me use them, but more importantly, thank you to Phyllis, her mother. You're much more important. I cannot help myself. But let's just get into it. So I'm gonna get out of the way what I'm least looking forward to here. Juicing a bunch of lemons. For this recipe, you need about a cup of lemon juice in total. That equals about 6 lemons. So I spent a solid 25 to 30 minutes rolling each one of these out, cutting them in half and juicing them. If you have any type of cut or scrape in your hand, the lemon juice feels just fantastic there. After a while, it starts to irritate your fingers and get under your nails, so it's just a great time overall. I also zested one of these because you need about a tablespoon for the lemon curd that we're gonna make towards the end. But right now we're gonna start with the actual cupcake batter. So 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter. I gave those a good mix, and right here we have another famous tasty goof. In the video it says 2 cups of sugar, while in the description it says 1.5. I feel like they're messing with me at this point. It can't be on accident. I went right in the middle of the 2 and did 1 3/4 cup. It'll probably throw everything off, no big deal. But once I had those 2 ingredients creamed together, I slowly added in my 4 eggs, 1 at a time, thoroughly mixing in between each one until I got right to about here. Now we can begin with the dry ingredients. So 2.5 cups of flour, sifting each one of those individual cups out, along with 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then just a little sprinkle of that salt. And again, we can go right back to this with our hand mixer at medium speed until everything looks like it's mixed in. Next up is our vanilla extract, which we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of and mix one more time. A 1/2 cup of milk, which seems like a lot, but I'm gonna go with it. And then we can finish it off with a 1/2 cup of our freshly squeezed lemon juice. I would say the consistency of my batter is a bit off from what Tasties looks like in their video. With my luck, it's probably the sugar, so. I set up my cupcake tray first with these worn out older cups, which were not fitting in the actual molds. So I got these Halloween ones, no big deal, it's only a couple days late. And they ended up fitting a lot better. So I put about a 1/2 cup of batter in each one of those. And this right here is where I am very perplexed. It says 325-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. What kind of cupcakes cook at that low of a temperature that quickly? Now after 15 minutes I checked them, they hadn't rose, they were still pretty flat, and the toothpick was not coming out clean. So I left them for about 25 minutes, and I'm just praying that these are gonna come out somewhat okay. And while those are cooling, we can begin to work on everything else. First up is the lemon curd. You gotta start with our remaining 6 eggs and separate the yolks from the whites. After 2 and 3, I was doing beautifully. These yolks are looking great. I got to the 6th one and... Oh, great! You son of a... I was furious. Now hear me out for a second. I know this has happened in the past, but in Tasty's video they actually broke 2 of their yolks and still used it, and obviously it still came out okay. So I tried to fish out the broken yolk and I cracked 1 more of my eggs, and I'm hoping, praying that this is gonna work. You could then throw a full cup of white sugar in both the yolks and the whites, and then pop our bowl of yolks onto a boiling pot of water over on my stove that I put on a little bit ago. Mix that together until the bowl heats up and the sugar all dissolves, and then add in the remaining of your 1/2 cup of lemon juice, your tablespoon of lemon zest, and give this mixture about 10 to 12 minutes to kind of thicken up and all come together. After that, you can add in 6 tablespoons of butter, and once that butter melts down completely and everything is looking smooth and delicious like this, you can take it off of the water, throw some plastic wrap on the top so it doesn't develop a film, and then leave it in the fridge to set while we work on the egg whites. Now you're actually going to put that egg white and sugar mixture right on the same pot of water. This time not adding anything to the mix, just letting the heat from the water kind of dissolve all that sugar. And once that's done, just add a teaspoon of cream of tartar and go to absolute work with your hand mixer. 5 minutes in, we kind of got to this frothy, kind of loose egg white mix. About 10 minutes in, we arrived to this marshmallow fluff consistency, and approximately 18 minutes of straight mixing later, I think we might have what we're looking for. So let's try to throw all this mess together. I took a few cupcakes and tried to poke holes with a icing tip. I kind of just pushed the excess cake down to the bottom. I spooned in a little bit of my lemon curd, which seemed to not be set fully. Either way, I just tried to throw the egg white mix in a piping bag and then finish the whole thing off with that. I was able to use my torch that I just bought to kind of brulee the whole top of these and give it a little bit of a nicer look. Ugh. So now we can finally give these things a try. It actually doesn't look too terrible, I won't lie. I think you guys do need to see the inside when I cut into it though. It's only fair. Oh boy. Wow, that is kind of dense. Ooh. Precisely how I kind of assumed it would look. Not bad. I'm gonna try to get everything in one bite here. The cake, the inside, and the top. What do you call that? The meringue? Is that the meringue? I think it is. There's a lot of things going on here, not all of which are great. I'm pretty sure the top is the best part. It's like a very light whipped cream, kind of. The middle, the lemon curd, I know it's lemon, so this is kind of a dumb question to ask. Is it supposed to be this sour? Also, the middle is dry as can be, and it's very, very dense, so I do feel like it's not even cooked all the way. This might just be one of those where I haven't eaten a properly made one enough in my life to know how this compares, but between some of the measurements being wrong, that cooking time being absurd, I think they might have to go back and review this one a little bit, so I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's BuzzFeed test. If you did, leave me a like, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe if you're new, all the good stuff. And I've seen a lot of you asking me to do 2 videos a week more, and don't think just cause it's not October, I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it a few weeks here and there, just not every single week. I need a little bit of a break. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and